Okay, so it's happened again. If you guys don't know, recently we talked about a situation going on with the hololive VTuber Mori Calliope, essentially getting involved in a very exciting project with a very big anime, which you guys have probably heard about if you are in the VTuber space at all. And well, this was Gachiya Kuta. Now, I'm sorry if I said that wrong by the way, but again, that's how I pronounce it. And I've been watching this. It's a really great anime that's been airing this season, and it's gone on to its second core now, meaning that it's getting a new opening, and this opening was done by Mori Calliope. It's done in collaboration with her, and she made the opening for the second core of the show. And very many people were excited. Obviously, a lot of hololive fans, very excited to see her kind of performing and doing that kind of stuff, right? And even Mori Calliope herself has been super excited and saying stuff like, I want to see a future where more virtual artists from overseas get a chance to write songs and sing for anime. Let's hope this will be a big step forwards towards that dream, which, yeah, obviously, that's a very positive thing to do moving forwards. And I think that, you know, a lot of people have been very excited to see, you know, that come out. But recently, it seems like she's been catching even more hate about this kind of stuff. And this is what we covered last time as well, whenever we covered the situation. She was catching a lot of hate literally just for, you know, doing this opening, which I thought was crazy. And it seems like there's been a second wave of hate now coming this her way, especially considering this post here, where someone, yeah, essentially says, look, man, he helped me through a very tough time, so he means a lot to me. Okay, you just gotta respect it. And then this person just says, I love, and obviously it says, I love BBC. Says, please get this woman out of my manga, man. And obviously this has obviously caused a lot of yeah, it's caused a lot of controversy and stuff in the space because, again, they're saying, please get this woman out of my manga, acting like it's their manga. You know, it's not their manga at the end of the day. It's obviously this artist. I'm not sure actually who the mangaka is, but again, it's her, the person on this image here. It's their manga. They can decide whatever the hell they want to do, and also the anime staff can decide whatever they want to do with it. So again, I find it very odd that they're saying stuff like like almost like they wrote it or something, and trying to kind of spread a narrative that, oh hey, you know, we don't want her because she said that she liked BBC, which is pretty crazy. But again, I don't know, it's crazy. Obviously, they've been also posting about this kind of stuff as well. Obviously, some people are saying, respect Mori, I'm so serious. You know, it's the season complaining about BBC for some odd reason, looks a profile Indian. Obviously says, where does this BBC stuff come from? Obviously, a lot of people have been commenting about that too, saying, I'm asking the same question, man. I've never watched her, but at least I don't hear stuff down the grapevine at some point. This skipped the vine and just went straight to the visual hit stick from left field. Said, the fact that you got a Black Ranger PvP makes this even funnier. Said, no idea, especially since back in her DD days, she made it very clear that she fetishized Japanese men a lot. And yeah, obviously a lot of people have been kind of complaining about this, and we'll go into more posts as well, not just this one, for some kind of like weird like racist reason. They tried to like kind of come up with some reason, say like, oh, Mori Calliope's racist, which I think is pretty crazy. She isn't, obviously. I think you guys know that, and everybody knows that, but for some reason there's been so many posts kind of talking about this and kind of, you know, getting outraged over this, including this one post here, which I thought was very interesting. They said, racist with a BBC fetish on your stuff, I would be crying uncontrollably. Now, I don't know if you know, you can really unpack that kind of tweet there. They said racist, they're calling her a racist with a BBC fetish. Now, that doesn't really compute. Those two are kind of like two negatives that go into one. You know, they don't like, you know, it's like two magnets, you know, they don't go together. So again, I thought that was very weird. I thought that was quite a funny tweet. It's like, okay, that doesn't really add up, but okay. There's been more people like this. Obviously, yeah, here's the original post here, which got the most views, 618k. Also, yeah, like people like this saying, nah, get this racist blank away from my series dog. And there's been so many comments like this, and I don't get why. I don't know if it's just because they dislike VTubers. I don't know if it's because they dislike Mori Calliope in particular, or they dislike hololive. I'm unsure, because again, the hate has been absolutely relentless recently over on Twitter, and a lot of the narrative that people are kind of spreading is that, yeah, she's a racist or something, which obviously, as I said, is not the case. You know, we're not, you know, saying that it's the case at all. But again, they never actually come up with any kind of, I guess, like posts kind of revealing why they think this way, or, you know, why they think that she's some kind of racist or something. They never actually show you that. They just say it, and then they go, yeah, get her out of the series because I don't like her, right? And I think that is pretty insane. You know, I don't know why, you know, they keep on doing this. Obviously, people in the comments, they love Mori haters spewing literal lies, and the racist thing is on the room with us, or what? It's so weird. Like, again, I don't understand where all of this is coming from. And also the kind of, I guess, like, contradictions that a lot of people are making in their posts. You know, lots of people as well, you know, quoting this saying, I'll never get tired of seeing all the people seething over Callie's success. And yeah, this is all posts coming from November 6th, by the way. This is yesterday. We covered this around about, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe? And again, we covered this ages ago, and there was this first kind of spew of hate whenever it first got announced. And it seems like now, for some reason, it's all kind of propping back up again. And for some reason, people are getting angry for a completely different reason. Like, I think the first time we kind of covered this, they were getting angry just because it was Mori Calliope. They didn't really say anything about her. But this time, they seem to be really honing in on this whole, like, racist thing, which obviously just isn't the case at all. You know, people saying, I'm trying not to be too negative, but she's like an industry plant. It's not even funny anymore. Which, again, I just don't think is the case either. Obviously, yes, you know, she's part of a very big VTuber group. And sure, maybe she has been given some, legs up in the industry in terms of, connections and things, but that doesn't take away from her talent and, you know, her overall capability to make a really good opening. I think the opening's really good, and obviously a lot of other people agree that it's really good, and a lot of normal Getcha Kuta fans also think it is really good. So again, I don't know why people are kind of crashing out so hard on this, because again, it is literally the most tamest thing for her to do. It's not like Mori Calliope came out here with like some big statement, saying stuff about Getcha Kuta or whatever. No, that was not the case. She literally just made a song. She made an opening because the, creators of Getcha Kuta, whoever, like the anime staff or maybe the mangaka, I'm not sure obviously exactly who suggested Mori Calliope to be a part of this. But again, someone over at the team was like, oh, hey, let's get it on board. And they've done it. And now obviously people are crying about it. It's like, it's up to the creators to make this decision. And, you can't just go around throwing this kind of stuff out about, false kind of things about this kind of creator just because you dislike the opening. Yes, sure. Obviously, I know not everybody is not going to like an opening. Not everybody is going to like the fact that Mori Calliope is doing the opening. And like, I've got many shows that I enjoy, because there's been a lot of people, by the way, that have been saying, oh, I'm dropping this show just because she's doing the opening, which is crazy. Why would you drop a show of that? Because again, I've got many, shows and anime that I watch, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't really like the opening. It's not for me. Like, it's not the best. I don't really like it. But again, I'm not going to drop the show over. I'm just going to skip the opening, like pretty much 99.9% of people do. You're not listening to the opening every single time you're watching an episode, right? You might watch it for the first two or whatever, right? But again, after that, you're skipping the opening 9 times out of 10 and actually getting into the show itself, which I think, is pretty crazy that some people are even dropping the show over this because they think that Mori Calliope is some kind of thing that she isn't, which again, I do think is insane. And, as I said, there's many shows, including, for example, like one example that I have is Kaiju number 8, right? Kaiju number 8 obviously had a British artist doing the opening, and again, I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of bad. I didn't like the kind of style of it. I didn't think it fit an opening very well. But at the same time, I didn't go onto Twitter and complain about it. I was just like, okay, I can see why some people would like it. I'm just going to skip the opening every time I watch an episode of Kaiju number 8, right? And I think that is how everybody else should react to it, right? If you don't like it, don't listen to it. You don't have to interact with it. And more so, you don't have to drop a show just because you don't like an opening and just because you have some kind of bias against the creator of the opening, right? Again, I think it's absolutely crazy. And as I said, these people never provide any proof of like the statements that they are saying. So, they just look even more stupid. So at the end of the day, I think it is pretty stupid just to be attacking someone over the fact that you dislike them. Again, I'm unsure what they even dislike Mori Calliope about, because obviously, they're slinging all of this false stuff about her, but they have never actually provided any kind of reason to dislike her or dislike the fact that she's doing the opening. So it just ends up looking nonsensical and kind of stupid, and that's why obviously this has 600,000 views and only 8,000 likes, right? Again, the like ratio is actually pretty high, to be fair, for a kind of post that is pretty heavily disliked. But again, I do think it is crazy that some people are crashing out so hard over a VTuber anime girl doing an opening for a anime. Like, okay, like, bro, I would just say cope at the end of the day. And yeah, I just thought that was pretty crazy. I wanted to share share with you guys, because again, I think it is crazy that she's getting this kind of hate and harassment online at the moment. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.